Good evening, folks, and welcome back to APPF1 Tier 1 for tonight's dose of racing action. And I say a dose, I really do mean it with the grid size. We've got 12 drivers on the grid in what is probably the biggest anticlimax in Tier 1 history. Hello, folks. I'm here, regardless of the numbers, to bring you all of the action. As always, this is how committed I am. I was playing Civ 6, and rather than continue my save, I have come to commentate on this for the love of the game. And already Koru has gone. Hopefully that's not going to be the story of his evening, because there's a lot riding on this man for what is the Constructors' Championship. And I'll explain the situation in just a moment. Let's get everything up. As well, lap data, track map, let's get everything possibly get up. There's Avenir, of course, out in the Alpine once again. So here's the situation, everybody. All of the top 5 in the Drivers' Championship, none of them are here. None of them. On the grid, you can see that's Finley, Ryder Out, Verstappen, Lifebound, Chris RBL, none of them. The latter two had a small chance of winning the championship, but those positions 2 and 3, Ryder Out, QL, Verstappen, they had a chance. But none of them are here. And Verstappen needed to be here for this race and the next race in order to win the championship. He can't do that. Finney and Ryder Out are gone for the rest of the season because of WOR. I think that applies also to Lifebound Chris as well. So Finley has won the championship with no threat at all, basically. Once this round is complete. I mean, he's already run it right now. And we'll be watching Koru because 17 points is the gap between McLaren and Aston Martin. And that is where we find ourselves as we go into this race. Starting this qualifying session, it's Avenir going into turn 1. Nice, fast as he can through here. Don't run wide, Avenir. He has, but he's managed to stop the invalidation. So through turns 2 and 3 now. Keep it planted all the way through. Not sure how it is in these cars. I'm not raced around here yet. But down towards turn number 5 now. Long corner. Got to be patient on that throttle, but get the best exit possible for this long straight. He's got an Audi up ahead of him. Is that Jackalacco? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. But all the way down in towards this chicane now. Tricky chicane to get right. It's almost a hairpin. It's so tricky as you go through that left-hander. But into the next part of the corner. Decent exit from Avenir. All the way down now to 8th gear. Once it up to 8th gear. Draining that battery into this long parabolic-esque corner. That goes all the way left. Banks inwards a little bit as well. And then into the next part of the circuit. Into this hotel section, which can be a bit technical. You need a bit of front wing on your car to make it through here, through this double left hand, and now a bit off camber for Avenir, which throws him off a little bit, off camber for the next section as well. 2 corners to go, flat through the penultimate corner, then one final corner, carry as much speed as you can through it, down towards the line we go with Avenir. It's a 1 minute 24.3, our opening lap. Is that Jackalacco behind him? It's not. I believe it's Ghost who's starting a lap. So that means Hugo's the next car, but he's invalidated a lap. Then there's Dake. He's making his way around. Scotsman of the day is on, folks. Both Scotsmen are on the circuit, so we're back in action. Dake, 1:23.0. Kevin, 1 minute 23.7. We're then going to get Reshka across the line next in the Haas. What's he going to manage a 39? That's not a competitive lap time from Reshka. He can definitely do much better than that. B. Perez up into P2. Here's Hertzer in towards P number 4 in the other Alpine. Kylo Ren, P2, 23.0. Only a couple hundredths separating them. Jackalacco's not next. Is Jackalacco next? Sorry. Ghost is the driver I was riding on just then. P7 for Jackalacco. It's Ghost who's next. Hugo's behind him as well, but we'll follow along with Ghost. But yes, Koru needs 18 points to win the championship for Aston Martin, as both Aston Martins are not going to be here. But the only way Aston Martin score points is if we get 22 drivers in the last round, and we have to assign the Aston Martins just to get, cars that are filled out. That's the only way we do it. But right now, Koru's in the pits. I don't think I've seen him rejoin the session. So this is quite a pickle already for McLaren. Nothing's been said in the Tier 1 chat. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that situation as it develops. Ghost is only a hundredth of a second away from matching B. Perez's time in P4 there. It's very, very close. And this is the one thing we'll at the very least get in a session like this. So we'll get some close lap times. Because I think, honestly, this is kind of your mid-grid here. Like, if you put the top 5 back in, or maybe even the top 3, you know, Dakar sort of your 4th place, and kind of maybe Kylo Ren's probably a bit further up there as well. I mean, Dakar, I don't know if this is a good track for Dakar as well. Dakar could be up there too. On his day, Dakar's a very fast qualifier, but that's kind of what we've got here. So I would expect maybe a more competitive qualifying session and potentially race, which is good considering the situation. Ghost making his way around for an in-lap. Reshka's set a 24.4, exact same time as Bradders there. So again, some very, very close times. All the brake marker boards are gone. That's not good, Avenue. I wonder who's done that. Don't tell Scott or I'll go nuts. Oh dear. Apologies, just finishing my cup of tea. Right, Koru's out on track, everybody. This is the man. We're going to pile as much pressure on him as possible by following along with him as often as we can. Because this is the man who's got to do well tonight. 18 points is what he needs, so he needs to come away with 9 points. That'd be P7 at the minimum, which is entirely possible. Entirely possible. Let's see where he shakes out as we make our way around. Let's see if I can cross-reference through the other tiers, or at least tier 2. Race results. Look, Koru's a 23.2 in qualifying, which would put him in 3rd place right now if he were to match that in tier 1. In the race, he managed to finish 2nd. So maybe even scoring enough points, almost enough points in one round, potential. But you've got to deal with Kylo Ren, you've got Dakar, you've got Ghost, you've got Jacko to deal with, Hugo as well, if Hugo can get a competitive time on the board. Lots of drivers to contend with here in Tier 1, so it's not going to be easy, but I think Koru's got a shout of scoring that P7, if not more, tonight, which would be one step in the right direction to taking that World Constructors Championship in Tier 1, which would be some kind of... I'm doing my best with this, because this is the only thing this race has going for it, really. There's a few battles, perhaps, further along in the standings. That's not the right standings. You've got Ghost trying to break into the top 5. Definitely possible. He's only 1 point behind Chris, who won't be racing the rest of the season, and he's less than 20 points behind Lifebout. That's Koru with a 23.4. Does put himself into P3, as he did in, well, not quite the same lap he did in Tier 2, but not far off neither. Back here on an outlet. I'm going to say Avenue is on a lap. Maybe he is, but he's a 10th down on his previous. Let's just focus on this for a sec. He's actually going around again. Hugo's on a lap there as well. Jackalacca's coming around. We've got Kylo Ren about to start a lap. So I want to say it's going to be the Williams Bradders. No. It is going to be Jackalacca, the next driver to set a lap. So he's coming down to the Sector 2 line now. Just crossing it before this left-hand corner. 3 tenths of improvement. That will put him ahead of Avenir for now. Can he get ahead of Hertzer? Hertzer? I'm going with Hertzer. Close. Can he get into P7 maybe? P6 on a push for the Scotsman. I've got him on the podium, I think, for my predictions this week in the podcast, so he better do well. Jackalacco, double Audi podium, I think I've predicted. It's P8 though for Jackalacco, not far off of Kevin's time in the slightest. You've then got Kevin just behind him, who's almost half a second up on his previous effort. That's Koru entering the pits. Kevin into P3 now. Moving along, it's Dakar, the man on provisional pole position. Around the final corner he goes. That Cadillac disappears and reappears on the curb. 22.9 from Dakar gives a decent margin for the others to catch. Avanis 3/10 up, could go back ahead of Jackalacco, he does, and ahead of his teammate quite crucially. Hugo P4, Ghost is just behind him as well, 0.2 of a second, goes up into P5 for Ghost. Kylo Ren's there as well, he improves marginally and gets himself into pole position ahead of Dakar on the second time of asking, and it's battle for pole between Kylo and Dakar right now. Got flashback to a few seasons before, I think, where Kylo and Dakar were fighting for race wins and pole positions. Here's Bradders, a 10th up as well. Can he find any more improvement? That's a very, very shaky car on the final corner. Up into P8 though for the Williams driver, and ahead of both the Alpines on this occasion. Heights is out there as well. Looks like Reshka's on the lap, so we'll follow along with Reshka as well. And I'll quickly explain a bit more of the situation. Koru's also in that battle for the top 5 as well. I'd say Hugo's there too. So there's probably, I want to say it's a battle for P4 and 5 between Ghost, Hugo and Koru, and Jackalacco as well. Dakar's not far off, but he needed some decent races. I think he's missed too many rounds right now. And then I think that's really it, to be honest, because nobody else can battle. So it's that middle of the top 10 that we're kind of looking for to be resolved. And Ghost could break into that top 5 tonight, so long as he scores 2 or more points, which with the grid it's very reasonable. Well, very reasonable that he would do that. Let's ride along with Koru again. We said we would, as often as possible, ride along with this man in the McLaren. He's currently P6 in qualifying, which if it was the race, he would be getting 10 points for that. But he's definitely got some more time to be found. He's 0.2 off his tier 2 time, roughly. So let's see what he can manage in the Papaya car as he makes his way around. Let's follow along. Right on board with Koru, down in towards turn 1, make that entry as wide as possible. Carry the speed through turn 1. Not bad, keeps it on the track, doesn't invalidate. That's step 1. And out through turns 2, 3, and 4. This is kind of a corner, this little bit. And then in towards turn 5, lift and coast there. It's interesting to see which tracks need Lyco and which don't, because I think there's some that do, some that don't. I think this one is definitely a Lyco track. And look at those 2 straights. This is the first one, all the way down to the chicane, all across the sector 1 line. So we'll have to wait for the split on the sector 2 line as it comes into the final corner, the first corner of sector 3 even. Down the main straight we go, using all that battery. Runs out of battery way before the midpoint of the straight as well. That's not ideal from Koru, but through that parabolic turn there as well. Again, I missed the second time. Apologies. As we go through that technical section. Let's see what Koru can manage. Locking up the brakes, trying to get every ounce of that time out of that car. Got a couple more corners to navigate. Uses the battery up to the penultimate corner. No battery left, and in fact, got to peel into the pits. Not good enough. Pressure is on for Koru. How about Heitzer? He's a few hundredths of a second up on his previous. He's got a couple more corners to navigate. Can he get back ahead of his teammate, perhaps? Those 2 Alpines close together, but no, not this time for Heidsat. As it goes, Avenir is going to be the first driver to start a lap on the final runs of this qualifying session. Koru should get one more lap in. I think he wants to go and be the last driver out on track, which is the play, I think. Track evolution is crazy around this circuit, if I remember correctly. As Avenir starting his final lap of this session. Hopefully the brake marker boards not being not too damaging to this run. It's quite squirrely on the exit of 1 through this twisty section of high-speed corners. Alpine makes it through. Down by almost a tenth of a second for the Alpine though. Round turn number 5 he goes. Foot down, straight mode on. All the way down this straight, draining the battery as much as he dares. All the way down to 0% for Avenir. Got to lift and coast, got to cover that battery for the next straight. That's the killer, really. Hello, back in. Bear with me, everybody. Apologies. This does happen from time to time. But as I was saying, it's going to be a derating as the battery drains. Let me get myself back into the session. Give me 2 seconds. Again, apologies. This does happen sometimes. Got to remember to click spectate, otherwise I'll be on the track as well. There you go. You shouldn't miss the end of qualifying. Probably miss the end of Avenir's lap. Almost there. I'm just glad it's cooler at the moment. We've had rain. We've had rain over here now. It's been a long time. Weeks. Probably even months. Like proper rain. Not like pathetic rain. Proper rain. Right, there we go. Back into the session we go. Hopefully nothing too drastic happened. Let's see. Dak has just gone fastest as we've joined back in. Kylo Ren is on a lap. He's only up marginally. It's not going to be enough of an improvement to beat Dakar at the moment. Kevin, what about him? He's way down on his previous. He's 8/10 down, in fact. Nothing doing for him. Rada's well out of it. Kylo Ren then is the only one who can challenge Dakar for pole position. He set fastest middle sector. We didn't see how much he was up on that. Through the hotel section we're going. He only needs about 10.5, maybe a little more than that, to get ahead of Dakar with that 22.7. Let's see what he can manage coming through the final corner as Kylo Ren chucking it through, fully committed as he goes along, but unable to beat Dakar. It's 200ths of a second, more or less, the difference. Reshka into P9 on that occasion. We've got B. Perez making his way around. Let's see what he can manage. We've got an Audi up behind him as well. B. Perez, P6. Ghost is not the Audi we need to follow. It's Jackalacco, P8. Now it's Ghost, maybe. Not quite. It's Hugo next, who's going to be going around the final corner. Let's see what he can manage. It's only P4 for the Swedish driver. Hertzer through the final corner. Goes ahead of Reshka and Avenir. What about Ghost? Is Ghost on a good lap? No, Ghost is well off on that occasion. And just behind Ghost is Dakar. And that is going to be all she wrote for qualifying, folks. It's Dakar on pole position, just ahead of Kylo Ren, with then Kevin and Hugo in the top 4 as well. Ghost and Hugo, by the way, separated by 1,000th of a second. Hugo and Kevin separated by 5,000ths of a second. The 3 of them separated by 6,000ths of a second, if it wasn't obvious already. Very, very close stuff. 4P3 there. It's going to be a good race, I hope, as we finish this qualifying session. Let's see what the Dakar asking for the count to be stopped. I mean, this is a good start for his approach to Scotsman of the season for Dakar, as he's pole position here in Abu Dhabi for round 9 of the Tier 1 Championship. Kylo Ren is alongside him on the front row, with Kevin and Hugo just behind. Ghost and Koru are the next row, with Karez, Jakalako, Brothers and Heights at the top 10, with Reshka and Avenir, the rest of the 12-car grid. I think these 6 here, they could be in for a decent race. All battling and jostling around. I wouldn't count Karez or Jacko out either of this, actually. Looks dry, from what I can tell. This race kind of takes place in the sort of evening, I think, like early evening. So it's not quite dark. Or at least at the start of the race. It gets darker as the race goes on. Excuse me, it's been a long day. How many steps have I done today? Let's find out. Hopefully it's over. Oh wow, yes, 15,500 steps today. Very good. Very, very good. I definitely won't hit that tomorrow. We're doing significantly less walking tomorrow. Oh dear, well, we're waiting for the red lights, for the green flag, so we can go racing here in Abu Dhabi. Put your predictions in if you're watching. The whole one person. It's probably Avenir. Let's see. Let's have a look. They're saying. Kylo wasn't too happy with the boards being taken out either. About the boards in the chat. Right, they're waiting to go any moment now, we hope. Remember, Kylo Ren, not Kylo Ren, sorry, Koru needs to finish 7th or higher. Was it 9th or higher, actually? I could be wrong. Maybe I've got this wrong. I feel like it's 7th, because it's 9 points. I was so sure of myself earlier. Yes. No. Yeah, 7th. Yeah, Koru needs to finish 7th or higher to be halfway to becoming World Constructors Champion. Alongside the absent Finley. So we'll see how it goes. Still waiting for those green flags. Any moment now. No heroics. Koru needs to stay out of any incidents. No stupid penalties. If he doesn't finish 7th or higher, then it's going to be harder to guarantee points, because we don't know who's going to be at the next round. That's the thing. Again, the top 5. I think Verstappen's back for the next round. I think Verstappen's only chance is getting 2nd place ahead of Ryderdale. But even then, that's a bit of a stretch. But 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, round number 9. We are underway and racing. Let's have a look at the starts from everyone. Kevin, a bit of a shaky start. It's like Kylo Ren's looking to draw level alongside Dakar into turn 1. Dakar swoops around the outside, fends him off. But Kevin going to go all the way around the outside. It's almost free wide into the next corner as they go on. Kevin off the track now. Kylo Ren got the drive to get past him. Hugo's going to get passed by Kevin. Kevin's going to get passed by Hugo now as well. Kevin tries to go around the outside. Ghost is following along as well, looking for a way through. Very squirrely rear end. There's a bit more contact. That's Koru involved in that contact toward the back. And that is not a good start to what is an important race for the McLaren driver. He's got no damage, but he's definitely in amongst the walls and has lost a lot of places off of the line and probably lost the most amount of places off of the line. Can he get one from the ghosted car just up ahead of him? We'll find out. He's sort of inside of the ghosted car at the minute. Let's hit back to the front as Kevin is looking to challenge Hugo in towards turn number 9. He's got Ghost for company as well. Further back, let's get some detail up now. It is definitely Koru, the biggest loser on lap 1. Biggest gainer is Reshka on lap 1 here as well. Strategy is mediums across the board for everybody. Bradders finally on Ghost, but Koru going to go down. He's inside in towards the double left-hander. Can he keep it? He's going round the penultimate corner now, and they've come together. Koru somehow keeps it out of the wall, and it comes out in P11, now P10, as Avenir was somewhere in amongst that, but that was almost a heartbreak for Koru. Dake, meanwhile, all calm for the race leader for the time being. Here's Ghost looking to the inside of Kevin, not finding it at the moment. Jakalako, however, finding a way up. That's P6 for the Audi, up ahead of B. Perez and into P6. Dake controlling the race for the time being. That's B. Perez looking for a move on Jacko. Late dive. Ghost was a bit all over the place for a second there. Perez was forced off the circuit by Jakalako. Side by side they go. Reshka's looking to get involved in this as well. It's going to be 3 wide almost as they go down to turn 9. Jakalako stays ahead of Perez for now. Reshka's looking for a way around him as well. Round the outside goes the Haas car. It's now going to be the inside as they come into the hotel section. But the drive goes to the Red Bull. But the space, is it left for Reshka? It's not quite. Reshka is forced onto that curb there and got a bit out of shape. But stays behind B. Perez for now in striking distance. Meanwhile, methodical as ever. Waiting for an opportunity on Kevin. Where will it come for the Audi, we think? Avenir way down, Koru way down as well. He is a fair few places off of where he needs to be. I hope he's got no damage. 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for Bradders in P12. Jacko needs to stay with his teammate. He needs to sort of break away from Perez and the pack behind and stay with these guys. But Kylo Ren, in the meantime, got the pass done on the main straight on Dake under the battery. Let's see if Dake's got a response as he makes his way down. I think Kylo Ren's just using that battery. Beaker has left the session now, is lagged out. That'll be music to Jacko's ears, but Reshka's going to be joining him very soon. Kylo Ren is now taking control of this race. Fairly bog standard pass before the chicane for Kylo. And that's a change of the lead in turn 1. And Jacko not quite got the pace of his teammate up ahead. I think he's falling off in this middle sector. It's going to put pay to any chance of a podium for Jakalako this evening, unless the worst were to happen for some other cars on the track. Koru up to P9 now. He's only 2 places away from that P7 that he needs. But still plenty of race to go. We're only 4 laps in. That's Bradders round at the start-finish line. And now going the wrong way. I think this man's about to get himself banned from the league, as he's going the wrong way around the track. Oh no, he's not. He's going the right way. Never mind. I'm an idiot. He is going the right way. Never mind. No race, no lead down. I'm talking absolute rubbish. And I'm missing action at the front as Hugo has now got his way past Dake. Dake is going to be on the charge to get right back ahead of him though. They don't want to battle too much as Kylo Ren will run away with it if they do. Kevin down into 4th as well. I think he's been down into 4th since lap 1 actually, so I clearly have no idea what I'm talking about tonight. But this is the top 5 train. All of these cars are battling for the lead of this race. Goes to the back of it. Jakalako in that no man's land position. Then it's Reshka fighting Heitzer and Koru. who is 1.5 away for the time being. He's not having it for company as well. So, my apologies, brothers. You were going the right way around the track. I spoke too soon. I don't know what track I was thinking of. Never mind, but he's round again through the hotel section. But I think we've got to keep an eye on the front. We've missed 2 passes already towards the front, and we can't be missing any more. And that's a safety car. Bradders has crashed. He's done a Nicholas Latifi and crashed at the hotel section. That's virtual. So it shouldn't have too much impact on the race, I don't think. It'll just neutralise it for a moment. And then we'll get back to racing speed in just a second. We're too far around the track. Abu Dhabi claiming a driver already. Not sure if that was an intentional retirement or not. But he seemed to be struggling quite a bit with the car. There's a big gap forming between Jacko and Ghost there. All of them sticking together. Dakar has lost 2 places after the start of this race. He's now down into 3rd. And if Hugo were to win the race, that would be good for me. 5 points for predictions. Need something bad to happen to Kylo and Dakar. But in the meantime, anybody going to come in? No, nobody comes in from the front. Jacko's going to stay out as well. I think everyone's staying out as the safety car ends, and we're back under green flag conditions. Anybody going to get a jump on anyone on the start of this race once more? Not quite. All kind of quite close together. The biggest gap is between Kylo and Hugo right now in this front fight. Kevin could have a go at Dakar down the main straight. They're all going to be benefiting, of course, and using the battery, so it's going to be even more difficult to overtake. It's going to come with the mistakes, I think, made by other drivers, these overtakes in this train at the front. Jacko's not far off, so if they do start fighting, he will be right back in it. But at least there'll be an encouragement that he can see his teammate up ahead. And that's he's not all that far away. Let's try and look at the battery situation. Kylo's got a lot, Hugo's got a lot, Dakar's got plenty. They've all got a lot of battery. They're all trying to save as much as possible. It's all very tactical, very measured racing from everybody. I think that was a little bit of Dakar out of shape there on the first corner of that hotel section. Good view of the battle of the leaders. As Kevin goes very, very wide through turn 1. Is that going to invite Ghosting for an opportunity? It's certainly not. I don't think he was even close enough to get involved in that one. Maybe he went off as well. I'm not sure. Through we go once more. Hugo very close now to Kylo Ren. Kylo using all the track available there on the exit. And I think this could be a pass for the lead. Down in towards the chicane. Hugo's got that closing speed. Here he comes. Down the inside he goes. It's side by side. It's a terrible camera angle from EA. But Hugo's going to go for it. Kylo's going to stick to it. Stick to the inside. Awful camera angle still. But Hugo gets the drive on the outside and gets the position. And that's a new race leader. That's 3 race leaders we had now in these last 7 laps. Kylo Ren could come back at him. But this is what they need to do for other drivers in this train to get involved in the race lead. They need to start fighting, and that's what they're doing. It may be a small grid, but we are not short. They're not sparse of entertainment. We've got 5 cars battling for the race lead. It's Hugo who's going to finish off as the leader on lap 7 and begin lap 8 as the race leader. Let's see, Dakar and Kevin are thinking about it. They smell a bit of blood maybe from Kylo Ren. Dakar Ghost and Kevin all get the most battery. Hugo and Kylo were battling, so they had to use a bit to fend off each other. Perez is retired in the pit lane. He's done for this evening. Let's see what these drivers can do. Ghost getting very close to the back of Kevin all the time as well. No closing speed for the drivers up ahead right now. They're just all making their way through one by one by one. Kylo Ren smells an opportunity though. He's going to look to the outside of turn number 9 when they come to it. Hugo's defending that inside line. And Kylo trying to cut underneath maybe as he goes through. Looks for it, looks for that inside line, but can't quite find it. As we're going along, Hugo does well to defend and plant that car in an awkward position for Kylo and keeps him behind for now. Pushing him through is the Mercedes. So much so it almost invited Dakar in for an opportunity. They're all so close together through this twisty section of the track. Kevin a little bit out of shape. Was that Ghost a bit out of shape in the background as well? I'm not sure. But running that close does come with its own risks. Jacko's closed in a bit more. Ghost looking very, very squirrely on the exit of the final corner. That front end not settling at all. Dakar runs a little bit wide, bit of understeer for the Cadillac. Dakar the closest to a strike at the minute. Kylo Ren very close to the back now as well. It's quite a tussle as we go through. It's not like one mistake. These drivers come bounding through. Let's see, Hugo, can he defend from Kylo Ren? He can. Can Kevin go on the attack against Dakar? No chance on that occasion. He got very close. He's threatening the Scotsman. Here's Kevin. Let's see what else we can muster up. Next straight we go. Hugo holding him off for the time being. Dakar wanting to get involved, but there's just still nothing. There's no way through for these drivers. Koru's caught up to the back of Heitzer and Reshka, by the way. And they're all a bit close, down in P7, 8 and 9. Again, Koru chasing that P7. Still 2 places off. He's got a Heitzer, I think it's a new, I want to say a new driver? I've not seen Heitzer before. Reshka, of course. Long-time veteran in APPF1 at this point. So, no slouch guarding that P7 there. Top 5 continue their skirmish with one another. All 5 different teams as well. It's all very interesting. I'd love to see this in Formula 1 one day. Just 5 different teams all duking it out at the front. Let's see. As that's Heitzer on the attack on Reshka through the left-hander. No way through for Heitzer. He was looking. It's going to be close though on the exit. I'm just keeping an eye on the front because that's a change for the lead. That's Kylo Ren going for a late one on Hugo. Kevin is going to be trying to look for a move on Dakar this time as well. He's not going to be. Is he vulnerable now to Ghost? We've got a poor exit out of the next part of the corner. Hugo's coming right back at Kylo Ren. No, he's going to go to the inside for this corner. And they go side by side as Hugo swooping in and taking the place. But can Kylo Ren come back at him? Pulls alongside. They're side by side now as they go into the hotel section. Are they going to remain side by side as they make their way through? It's Ferrari. It's Mercedes through. Are they going to make contact as they make their way through? Not quite. They still keep it clean for the time being. It's still side by side through the double left-hander of the hotel section now, and it's a Mercedes that looks like it's going to come out on top. There's no changes further back, but that's Kylo Ren fending it off and fantastic battling, and that's Kevin pulling the trigger on the pit stops. I'll say no changes even further back down here. Koru's coming into the pits though, going to go for that undercut. Not a bad idea considering the position he's in, and that's a safety car once again. And who is that that's gone round? Who's brought that safety car out? Is it Jack? I'm not sure who's brought that out. But that's a huge, huge boon for Kevin and Koru. Because they will have lost significantly less time to the drivers they're fighting now. It even brings Jacko right back into things as well. think they'll be a bit annoyed, the top four. If they can get around and come in, they might not lose out much. They've got to go a fair distance before they reach the pit lane. That's what the gap to leader is. Kevin could be your net race leader if Kylo Ren is to come in. 19.5 seconds, so back to green flag racing. So that virtual safety car, I'm not sure why it came out, but it could play a vital role in this race to determine the winner. And I think Kylo's in. Hugo follows him in as well. Dake's going to stay out. Ghost comes in. Dake, the only one to stay out, is going to retain that lead. He'll have the overcut on everybody else. He's got to surely come in next lap. On the others, any shenanigans in the pit lane, any drivers making their way through. Reshka's going to inherit P2 for the time being. Avenir inheriting P3. That could definitely will want the counter stop now. No position changes in the pit lane, but Jackalacco is going to benefit. He's going to profit, in fact, from that strange virtual safety car. And Koru is going to come out in amongst it with Hugo, maybe. Not quite. That's Ghost, in fact. He's coming out alongside. And it's going to go all the way around the outside, but Ghost's going to show him the door. And put his foot down, but Koru's going to have those warmer tyres as they go along. Not quite going to go for it. He's down in P9 right now. He's still waiting for the top three to come in, but Kevin, look where Kevin is. Way ahead of everybody else. Jackalacco is now your net P2. Maybe it's not over for Jack. I don't know. He's got to find some pace on these hard tyres compared to those behind. But even better still, if he can't find that pace, if he can slow up Kylo and Hugo enough, Ghost can get back in it. Dake now into the pits. Let's find Kevin. Kevin's going to be well ahead of him. Kevin's going to pass him even before Dake's even pulled into his pit box. And I think everybody else is going to do the exact same thing. Dake into the box. Overcut. Not worked to his advantage, and he's even behind Koru now. And that's Dake's race. Quite the mountain to climb now, I think. Ghost not doing so well as to catch back up to Hugo and Kylo Ren here. And in fact, Kylo Ren and Jack and Hugo might just be about to make short work of the Audi of Jack. It's Kylo Ren, job done. Hugo's going to have to wait on the next one. That was very close, Jack. Almost ploughed right into the back of Kylo. This Audi now. Short work. Easy pass. Job done. So Kevin got the strategy bang on. That weird safety car giving him the opportunity to pit and has placed him 3 seconds ahead of Kylo and Hugo here. Who, if they battle, they're going to cost each other time. But they're not battling right now. They've actually just gained a second on Kevin. Just in a couple of corners. Koru now in P6. Ahead of where he needs to be. Again, that safety car. That virtual safety car doing the business. Now it's 2.9 again. They're not catching up as quickly as we thought. This is Hugo chasing down Kylo Ren. Battle renewed. Although what's good for Jack here is that he can stay with them as Koru gets past Ghost. In the meantime, Jackalacco could stay with Hugo and Kylo with that straight line mode. Or the boost mode, or whatever you want to call and really go for it. He's actually looked for a move. I don't think he was meant to do that. But went for a move on the left-hander, not quite pulled it off. Goes to the spot above her now. He's got Koru in P5 up ahead of him. And he's well off of where he was a moment ago. Not sure what's happened to put him into P6. But it's not a good start to the second stint for Ghost. As we're sort of approaching them. We are about the halfway through this race now. And it's going to be a one-stop for sure. Unless we get a proper safety car, perhaps. But Ghost not in a good way. Although I think he might have the measure of Koru. At least right now, he's pushing him through the hairpin. Can he make a move? Here's the question. Let's follow along. He's definitely going to make the move. And it's going to stick. Nice and simple. Job done. Kevin just cruising at the moment. 2.4 is the gap. You don't want to be cruising too much because Kylo and Hugo will catch him if he becomes complacent. And right now it's a steady gap. Although it has come down a couple of tenths there. It's fluctuating. It's a fluctuating gap right now. Although it is definitely coming down again. Yeah, almost 2 seconds now. Yeah, they're catching Kevin. But this is good. This is good for Jacko. Jacko can get on the podium here, I think, if he plays his cards right. And also gets past Kevin. Jacko's on the oldest same set of tyres, so as Kevin. Both pitted on the same lap. It's going to be about who can manage those hard tyres. 1.8 the gap now. Half a second it is to Kylo and Hugo. I think they know the importance of not battling for the time being. But they can save that for when it's for the race lead rather than for P2 and they're chasing. Hugo's better off playing the advantage and following Kylo around. And we know Kevin likes a draggy, yeah, Kevin doesn't like a draggy car, he likes a car that's good in a straight line. So this is where they kept catching him last lap. Let's see if that continues. Not so much this time. It's not as big of a gain. It's quite marginal, in fact, this time around. That's Reshka with a 3-second time penalty. Yeah, it's not much of a gain on this lap, so Kevin can breathe a little easier. They're closing in the drivers behind. Battery. Kylo Ren. It's got practically no battery left. Jack Araka's only about half his battery. Hugo's got all of his battery, more or less. Kevin's using everything he's got. They're gaining slowly. Meanwhile, goes to head of Koru. Koru sat in P6, on for 10 points. Not a bad go of it. Just starting to phase off now. These front runners. Hugo wants to get racy now. He's had enough of the back of that Mercedes. That could be a good sign for Kevin. If they get too caught up battling, then they are going to ship time, which will give him a better advantage. We'll see. It'll also let Jacko catch back up. It might even let Ghost get in, which is not going to matter now. With a 3-second time penalty for Ghost, which right now puts Koru in P5. 11 points he would gain should it finish like this. And it's Kyler and Hugo swapping places. Hugo gets him in towards the hairpin. That could be crucial, as Kyler's not going to have much to fight back with down the main straight. He'll have the straight line mode, but he won't have the overtake. Kylo Ren just being dropped like a stone into the clutches of Jacko now. Ghost has almost managed to drop Koru. If he can drop him by the detection point, then he should get rid of him, and he can focus on consolidating P5. It's now 1 second. Hugo's going for this race win. He's dispatched to Kylo. He's got Kevin next. It's 1.1. Kylo's definitely still going to be a threat though. Hugo's used a lot of battery to get past Kylo Ren on this occasion. Kylo Ren could definitely get right back in it. But it's now back to the battle for the lead. Jacko's in it as well. Should anything happen to these top three, he's going to be right there to pick up the pieces. Let's see what we can manage. Hugo closing in on Kevin. We know Kevin's been draining a lot of battery just to keep these drivers behind him. How's Jack doing for battery? Jack's not doing too bad. Both Hugo and Kevin not got a lot of work with. Kylo Ren could be in a position to make a move, but looks like Hugo's going to use the slipstream and pull alongside Kevin. Go for the race lead now. Down the inside he goes. Gets the job done. Can Kevin fight him on the exit? Not quite. They're relatively equal, and even Hugo just pulling away a little bit more. He's got that overtake mode to take full advantage of and keep Kevin behind him for now. But it could be another swap back in a moment. Or can Kylo Ren get on there now? Jackalacko's falling back. There's not much he can do. He needs to get closer. He needs to hope they have a big fight somewhere around the track in order for the time to come right back to him. But it's not going to happen on this occasion. It's Hugo now leading the way, and Kevin and Kylo. He's got it. You'd think Kylo's got the advantage here, but Kevin's managed to stockpile some battery. Hugo's saved a lot as well. Jacko's not got too much out, and that's Koru round! In the meantime, he's going to stay P7, but does he have wing damage? So much wheel spin from Koru there. That's some frustration for you. No wing damage, but that's a blow. He's going to stay P7 for now, but he's going to have Reshka to contend with now. Jacko 2 seconds off the leaders. That helps Ghost consolidate that P5 for now, so long as it doesn't get any closer to Dakar. Kevin holding firm for now. It's lap 20. Not got long left of this race. Let's see what they can manage. It's Kylo Ren though chasing down Kevin for P2. Kevin trying to do everything he can to get back ahead of Hugo. That's Hertzer. 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. No assists. It's just joined the game. I don't know why he bothered. Hertzer though just cut the corner. I wonder where he cut that. Let's see. Let me go look back for a moment. See what he did. Maybe it was the chicane. It's probably the chicane. That's Kylo getting very close to the back of Kevin. In towards the hairpin. It's not quite close enough though. He can't get the move done. Can't do what Hugo did to him a few laps ago. Let's see if he can draw even closer. Get this move done. Not quite the overtake move. Just helping Kevin stay in it for now. Dakar lurking in the background. Behind those two Audis. Jacko's dropped to 3 seconds now. needs one of them to crash for that podium. Doesn't matter which one. Almost into the back of Hugo, and that's the opening that Kylo needed. He's gone straight past, and that's a big mistake for Kevin, who's going to drop down to P3 now. Could he be struggling now on those hard tyres? That was a big mistake, and that's what it takes to get moves done in this iteration of the cars. It's so hard when everybody's got a lot of battery and they're all conserving it well. You've got to wait for the mistakes, and that's what Kevin has just made. Costly one. Puts him down into P3 now. It's still going to be a podium in Tier 1, which, I mean, I would say it's impressive if it wasn't for the fact that a lot of the big hitters like Finley and Ryderdow aren't here. But let's start thinking about driver of the day so far. Hugo comes to mind. He's had a great race. It's a great battles with Kylo as well. He was also a good shout for driver of the day. We'll see though, Hugo holding off the Mercedes for now. These two have been battling all race long, and it looks like it's about to continue. They finally got rid of Kevin. I'll hope to see him shrink in their mirrors. Reshka's ahead of Koru, but Reshka's got a 3-second time penalty. He does. Ghost has got like 3 seconds, and is now at risk of losing a place to Dake. Maybe some truck and trailer about to take place for the Audis. Or the reverse this time. Actually, no, it wasn't reverse in Brazil. It wasn't even truck and trailer. But Jack are going to try and help Ghost pull away from Dake. Jack may not get that podium, but he will get the Scotsman of the Day award today if he should finish ahead of Dake. That will help him in his bid for Scotsman of the season. Now starting to drop away from Hugo. It's 8/10 the gap. It's not that close. Not got a lot of battery to fight with. I think that's the thing that's the leader. You have to use a bit more battery than the guys behind you, who, well, they use it more efficiently and they gain it more efficiently in overtake mode. But Dake is still closing in though. He's within that 3 seconds now. So staring at P5 is Dake. Jacko won't want to get a time penalty as well, otherwise it'll be both Audis demoted down a place. Kevin off the circuit again at turn 1. You'll have to be careful as they get a time penalty. Hope you can't hear that dog in the background. Still battling on. Goes close to the back of his teammate. Will he go for the move, maybe? As Ghost does seem a bit faster at this instance. It looks like he's going to go for it. Or maybe he's not. Maybe they're just running side by side. No, there it is. Jacko backs off and leashes Ghost. He's got to try and put as much distance between himself and Dake as possible. Still close between Hugo and Kylo. Kevin has not fallen away as you might have expected him to. He's still there. He's still with them. Still a threat. If just one of them makes a mistake, then it will be very, very nice for those behind. So you're on lap 25 of 29. 5, 6, 7, oh, there's 5 laps left to go of this Grand Prix. And this second half has been quite docile. We've had a few little snippets of action, but not a lot. Gosh, it's dark already. It'll be Christmas before you know it. All within about half a second of each other, these drivers in the top 3. I mean, we've had a low grid turnout today, but at least we can say that we've had an action for the front all race long. We've had intrigue all race long. Coro's still on for that P7. Not if he does any more of those though. Avenir might be there to spoil the party. Kylo Ren, he's had a go again, I think. He's got close. Still no way through. Hugo seems to be quite effective at charging that battery and using it. It seems probably the most effective of the 3 of them. He's doing well to hold on to P1. It'll do him well for getting into the top 5 to win this race, Hugo. Let's have a look at the standings just to see what would shake out. Hugo would go up to 70 points. Goes to score, I want to say 12. Yes. So goes to be on 67. So it's looking like Hugo and Ghost could be 4 and 5 after all is said and done in the championship. But it'll be Hugo up to P5, Ghost staying in P6. But only 3 points behind Hugo. Should finish as it is. That's the fastest lap right now as well. That would be good to know. Hugo as well, so in fact he'd get an extra point for fastest lap, which would put him level with Lifebout and actually ahead of Lifebout on countback due to having a race win. So Hugo would go into P5 and Ghost would stay in P6, well, in P4 actually with Hugo. But Kylo Ren, oh, he looks for a move into turn 1. I think just scaring Hugo a little bit. Wanting him to make that mistake. Kevin off the circuit yet again at turn 1. He likes doing that at that first corner. I think it's a short shelf life. Goes to P5. Dakar has got a lot of pace in these latter stages. We've got to cut back to the front though, as Kylo Ren is right up the back of this Ferrari, looking to the inside. We've got some action on the dying laps of this race. Hugo gives him the space. Kylo Ren gonna take the lead of this race now, but Hugo gonna be interested in getting right back at him. Let's see if he can do it in towards turn number 9. They're making their way all the way down. Let's see around the outside for the Ferrari. Does that become the inside as they go through? He tries it. The car gets all sorts of out of shape as he tries to put his foot down and find the grip. Can't quite find it there. And that's going to be Kylo into the lead for now. Can Hugo come back at him? We're about to come on to lap 28 in the penultimate lap of this race. If you're going to pounce, it's got to be now. Let's see, what can we do in these final stages? Quite similar batteries. It looks like Kylo had a little bit more from the footage I've just seen. Reshka, 3-second time penalty. He's way down in P10. Cole still sat in P7, right where he needs to be. And now it's Hugo going for the move this time. And it's going to be quite cut and dry on this occasion. It was a bit closer for Kylo. But Hugo down the inside gets the job done on Kylo Ren. Can Kylo come back at him? They're quite level on the exit. Kylo maybe just got a little bit of a better one as they made their way through. That's Reshka having a moment further back. Saving the battery. I think Kylo is gearing up for an all-out attack on the final run. Hugo will probably be expecting that, but look how much battery they have in comparison. Kylo's going to have a lot to use here. Kevin could get involved as well. Jacko and Ghost swap back round as well. As now Ghost has got to play rear gunner for Jacko, as Dak's caught right up to the pair of them and is wanting P4 rather than P5. Oh, it's all kicking off in these final stages. Avenir's close to the back of Koru as well. Could he steal away that P7 that he needs? It's all to watch here on these final laps. Hugo got the lead for now. Kylo Ren doing his best. Hugo saved a lot of battery though. As they've gone into the hairpin. Kylo Ren though gets the good exit. Looks to go for it. He's going to have the overtake mode. They're using all of the track available. Hugo going to go defensive nice and early. Sort of parks it in the middle of the racing line. And then comes back over. Didn't need to go too defensive. Kylo wasn't going to launch it here. Because he's going to launch it here, I think. On this final straight before the technical section of Sector 3. Down they go towards turn number 9. Kylo can't do anything about Hugo in this section. It's going to be down to mistakes now. Avenir's ahead of Koru. This could be some fireworks into the chicane. Not quite. Back to the front. Here's Kylo Ren. He's all over the back of Hugo. He wants to go for this race win. Could it lead to anything? As that's a mistake from Kylo. That's dropped him behind Kevin. Kylo has gone for Hugo, but it's been dropped down to P3. And the ghosting has helped Kevin out there a bit, but it won't matter. It's Hugo. It's going to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Kevin finishes in P2. Kylo Ren finishes P3. Jakalako holds on to that P4 as Dake crosses the line. But Koru now has lost the place to Heitzer, which is going to mean he can't finish in P7. He'll at least get P8, but that's one less point than he needed. It's going to be 8 points for Koru crossing the line, and that means he's going to need at least 10 on the next round to be that World Constructors Champion, unless stewards get involved, of course. But that's Koru P8. It's going to be Reshka to come home in P10. But wow, a good race, I think, up and down the grid. Plenty to talk about. There's Hugo, your race winner. There they are then, on the podium. Just seeing it's 2-0. Awesome commentary. Quite how this is Sakura's score. Gabriel, who hasn't started for some reason. I think I missed the standings, or did they not even come up? I don't think they came up, you know. No, we didn't get race standings this time. That's a shame. I'll run you through it from here quickly, just so you've got them. So it's Hugo who finished P1. Kevin and Kylo joined him on the podium. Jackalacco was P4, just ahead of Dake, getting that Scotsman of the Day award from the driver of the day. I think it's going to go to Hugo. He had a great race today and I think was the best driver out there. Considering Ghost is P6, Avenir finishes P7, stealing a point away from Koru, who now needs 10 to become that World Constructors Champion. Heights is P9 on what I'm going to assume is debut, but I'm questionable about that. With then Reshka, the last of the finishers, and then that's B. Perez and Bradas not finishing the race there. And wow, a solid start. Well, solid race despite the numbers. But that's it. We've got one round left to go next week. Am I here for that? I don't think I'm here, actually, for the finale. I know I'm not. I'll be on a train to Exeter at that time. So I'm not here for the finale, unfortunately. But it's going to be all eyes on Koru as you go into the finale. Can he single-handedly grab that World Constructors Championship for his team? You'll have to wait and see to find out, of course. Find all of the other streams, of course, of Tier 3, 2, and F2, of course, on our respective commentators' channels. Go give them a watch and like and everything. But I'm going to go now, grab another cup of tea, maybe watch the second half of the football, probably not. But thank you all so very much for watching. I have been Sumo, and for now, I will see you later. Goodbye.